Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Get in the dust chute.
Cool, dude.
You can get in the dust chute and go to www.patreon.com/retroam.
Get in our dust chute.
And support the podcast. Eric.
Chris.
Now would you like to hear some hot sounds that I recorded?
Yeah, dust chute.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about Xenogears. Tonight, we're opening our minds and drinking the purest form of nutrition, people. Wow. Hey, my name's Chris. Hey, Eric.
I think you're like 3 for 3 on excellent intro lines. You got a pretty good streak going here now, man.
Yeah, I can't. That was a bit of a heat check. I didn't know how well that was going to go.
No, it was good.
I wrote it just now. You saw me just type that up a second ago.
Yeah,
so
Chris panicked. He started sweating. He said, "Oh my God, they're not going to respect me if I don't get a good intro." And then he just delivered again.
I did.
This man thrives under pressure.
Yes, in post only.
Just like Fei Fong Wong.
Going down the dust chute like in Star Wars, which is where we left off with Fei Fong Wong.
A lot of Star Wars. First, Chris, I have an egregious oversight or correction.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been narrating the perfect works to a fault at a certain point.
Yeah, people seem to like that.
So far. I'm pleased to hear that. But there's a couple words that I think we've been mispronouncing that we should actually correct ourselves on because we've been egregiously mispronouncing it.
Oh, you mean we've been doing that during the podcast?
During the podcast,
Okay.
the full time for this one. The word in this case it's not Eliam Van Houten. You pronounce it Elhaim.
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 Elohim. Boys, I think it's Elohim.
Is that probably because of that has Hebrew roots, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But also the spelling definitely is Elhaim and not Eliam.
Yeah, we should have noticed that when we had to enter the password.
Sure.
Backwards.
So yeah, right. That's where I figured it out. But apologies to everyone who was listening to that and then getting slightly irritated when Chris and I biffed yet another word.
I think people probably get slightly irritated about a couple other things we say, like Citan instead of Citan or Citan.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, it was funny when
it's our truth, not your truth.
Yeah, I got to live by my truth. When I grew up, it was like we say Citan, but it was definitely Citan when I was growing up.
Yeah. That's what happens when you grow up playing Xenogears in Louisville, Kentucky. We tend to mush our words together.
Yes, sir.
KFC. Don't go there. No one from here likes KFC. Yeah, so.
No, never eat there. Jesus Christ. Unless you're in Japan. So, this chapter is called Krelian's Lab.
Yes.
But Chris, is this chapter actually called Suspicion?
Yeah.
Deception? Alienation?
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember where this thing ends. Like, deception would probably be a good one here based on the events that are about to occur. So I'm going to go with deception.
It is suspicion.
Oh, suspicion. Well, yeah, there's some suspicion going on here too.
That means I fooled you.
You fooled me. You fooled me once. Shame on you. Fooled me twice.
We should have been keeping score the entire time. That would have been a really good game to play to see if Chris can beat Eric before the end of the series.
You're not going to shame me again, Eric.
No, not really.
Well, this is on the internet. We can always go back and score it and then come back and... No, let's not do that.
Okay.
That sounds like a lot of work. So yeah, we left off. Eliam had brought us...
Elhaim. You can just say Ellie and just skirt it.
Yeah. Ellie, she brought us the gift card. No, the access card to the vac chute, the Vaxis.
Yeah, it was the Darden gift card, good for Darden properties. Red Lobster, Olive Garden.
Belk, Bacons. Okay, they go down the... so they've accessed the dust chute because they're trying to get the hell out of here. And we go down there and...
Well, no, we don't go down there. We flip a noise and it sucks us up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely sucks us up. And if you ever kind of get turned around this dungeon and you come back out here, did you ever do that?
No.
You have to get sucked up again to go back down there.
Really? Well, turned around, I guess I did repeat a certain part of it, which we'll get to later.
So it's just a bunch of ambient sounds down here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of background music going on. We are finally getting some more random battles with more soldiers and more of those...
Solaris guards and the drones.
Yeah, the cube Solaris cube guard guys.
Yeah. You know what my immediate thought down here was?
What's that?
Citan, my dude, I saw you get that sword. Where's that sword?
Yeah, we could use that sword.
It is
right now.
on your person, dude.
Yeah. Well, he's not his full turn yet.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Solaris guards shoot us with actual guns, but they did like 1 damage to me. Did they affect you at all with any of their weaponry?
They did a lot of damage to me.
Huh.
Do you have some sort of beam coats on or something?
No, I bought the new clothes in the Solaris store.
Maybe I didn't do that.
Like Crimson Vests, I think was what I bought.
Maybe my defense was low because I remember not struggling, but getting to the point where I need to knock these guards out quickly before they do 130 damage to Ellie.
Struggling.
I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
So what type of biome are we in here? It's just like more of the sewer kind of area that we were in last time, right?
Yeah, it's more sewer, but there's unique garbage assets in that giant pile up before you enter the main thing. But it also has that like Solarian sheen of like light blue and silver. Like not much actual dirt around the dirtiest place that's not in like the lower class block.
Also, some bad physics puzzles.
Yeah, so you walk in this fan room, right?
Yeah, a big ass fan.
Yeah, there's like a circuitous fan rotating in the middle. And then what is off to the side?
A heap of junk?
It's a giant piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And you have to push this garbage, and then it makes a unique noise as it clogs the fucking thing up.
Yeah.
So, this is a preview. Again, Chris and I haven't played this game in 20 years. I seem to recall a Disc 2 section where you have to like take paces and push stones around.
I don't remember
in one of
at
the
all.
few Disc 2 dungeons and it being immensely frustrating. Like I remember going to GameFAQs in 1998 to figure this shit out, which like was an emergency maneuver back then.
Yeah.
It was a dial-up.
Yeah. You had to ask your mom first.
Anyway, we'll burn that bridge down when we get there. After you push this piece of garbage down, you have to then descend on this ladder and catch this door.
And if you don't...
How many times did this take you?
That 3 or 4 times before I realized what was happening here because they just keep spitting you back out to the beginning.
Yes, it props you back up to where you initially got sucked off.
Yes. I mean, unfortunately... fortunately or unfortunately, we're getting to play the game a lot here, and there's a lot of traversal coming up in these next couple of sections. Not all of it is good traversal.
No.
But at least we have to sort of engage with the area instead of just kind of pressing forward.
Yeah, to beat this thing, you have to fall into the door and then mash the button to open it as you're falling. I don't know if the ladder even matters.
I think you can land on the ledge.
On the ledge?
Or at least grab the ladder.
Okay, I don't know how like Xenogears handles 3-dimensional space when you're dropping, like if you have Z-axis control.
It's a little weird. It's almost like you're sliding off the edge kind of, and you can you can kind of catch yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So then you go through there and you traverse a little bit through this kind of warehouse area, and you eventually come across some FedEx packages that are laying there. Faye is reminded that he is very hungry.
Yeah.
And they eat these things using some very gross sound effects.
Yeah.
The glub glub eat sound effects are not great.
I also wrote glub glub.
Yeah, they're gross.
Chris, how many times have you been on like a secret mission? Like we've been on secret missions before, right?
Sure. I mean,
we've done that.
Contextualized with our own boring lives, yes.
Yeah, we did some light stalking on one of our friends one time.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you had found a pile of food wrapped out during one of those missions, would you have just been like, oh, I'm hungry?
Maybe when I was 19, maybe.
Yeah. But you just wouldn't eat, like now as an adult with responsibilities, you wouldn't eat random food that you find just in a warehouse.
Especially not if there's no possible way that Faye is familiar with his packaging. It's not like he's seeing like a thing of ramen there of what's the traditional brand of ramen? Do you know?
Top
ramen.
Yeah.
And then
initializing fake net.
Locally, it's Maruchan ramen.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Soy ramen. It's not like he's seeing a thing of SpaghettiOs there and just opening it up because he's familiar with SpaghettiOs. He's seeing just a box and cans of shit.
Has Faye ever eaten processed food? Now, there is hints that, like Ellie said, they export this shit down to the surface through the ethos, but like, I mean, he was served restaurant food in Bledovik.
That's true. But
so I don't know.
That was probably cooked from scratch.
Yeah.
They have good cooks in Bledovik.
They probably caught that like a desert rat or something and he dined on that.
Hob meat.
Raccoon. Yeah, hob meat. He's eaten hob meat. He knows how to process that. But like, this has to be like just cubes of like tofu-like jelly substance that he's eating. So what is curious about this situation? Faye and Ellie dig in.
Yeah, and Citan's like, well, I'm going to watch.
Capital letters, Citan does not. He clearly abstains.
Yes, clearly.
More
on this later.
Yeah, my next note there is, come on, man.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
It's the part of this game that's gross. Okay.
You know what's funny is I don't think that restores your HP or anything.
No.
He's eating for pure sustenance.
It's just bullshit.
I'm always hungry. So that moves us on to the food processing plant.
Yes, the surroundings get kind of dark and green tinted.
Yes.
And Jaws of Ice is playing now because things are getting creepy.
Mm-hmm. So my immediate thought here was, oh boy, it's another conveyor belt dungeon.
Yeah. I love conveyor belts.
Yes.
They're my favorite type of dungeon.
Yeah. Second one, 2 for 2. 3 sewers, 2 conveyor belts, more in store, who knows?
Also, very obviously, there's some slaughtering going on here.
Yeah, there's like puke noises of like stuff getting pressed.
Yeah, and that sort of creepy, distant scream. That kind of it sounds like it almost sounds like it's a resampled sound effect from Chrono Trigger. That kind of scream that comes out when those things go through the conveyor belt.
When they drop the concerned citizen in the bottomless pit, he makes that noise.
Yeah, same sound, exactly.
It's fun. I have a unique instance of that noise later that I'd like to share with you.
Great. So
the first time we go through a conveyor belt, it detects us as foreign objects and we cannot move forward.
Correct. We have to go find some lock-off codes.
Yeah.
To lock off with our locks off.
So this brings us to the code input scanner thing room on the other side. I think you can move in between some conveyor belts, and then I think one will actually deliver you to some unique treasure before you get up and eventually make your way across this catwalk to this room.
Yes, exactly.
So, did you remember what to do in the code input scanner room?
No, I had the code because I found it on the computer somewhere else.
The computer in real life or the computer in the game?
No, the computer in the game.
Okay.
No, I didn't ask my mom if I could go look this one up first.
Yeah.
But then I did have some trouble translating what I was supposed to do here.
Yeah, it's like a binary thing,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
There's 4 cubes and they have to be lit or unlit. So there's only a finite amount of solutions. Did you get the bonuses here?
Yes, I got both of the bonuses.
You get a gold nugget and a gold bullion if you go all lit or all unlit. And then eventually, I didn't look up any of this shit. I just kept doing them more and more. And eventually I figured out it's like one off, one on, one off, one on to pass or something like that.
Yeah.
And that will lift the foreign object scanner, turn it off, allowing us to pass through the conveyor belt properly.
That's right. And we eventually get to go around all the conveyor belts and see the meat sort of dropping into the thing.
Ooh, it is big old blood splotches.
Yeah, it's gross.
Numbers.
Yeah, real gross.
It's just getting pressed into that shit.
Faye makes a brief comment about how he doesn't want to see what he's eaten, and then Citan tells him to consider that before we go in this door.
Yeah, Citan said, wait, Faye, you ate that food. Consider that fact when you open that door.
Yeah.
I want to say that to my friends. Hey man, you ate that, and they walk in.
You couldn't say, consider this before you open that box of food right there.
Dude, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is evil shit or if you're just playing pranks, because it's probably perfectly healthy, right?
Yeah, I mean...
people subsist off this stuff without
true.
knowing what it is yet, because we're not going to spoil that just yet.
Citan does have a role to play here, though, so perhaps he's just staying in character.
So, Faye goes through that door.
Yes.
And the screen turns red.
Yeah, we find out first, as soon as Faye comes to the realization that this is people...
Yeah.
Faye has this weird whooshy noise and a... quick flashback to a woman, a young boy on a table, and perhaps a woman on a terminal or something.
The woman to me looked like Karen.
Yeah.
A little bit. I couldn't say for sure who that was because it also looked like Zeboim adjacent stuff.
We know about Karen.
Yeah, but Faye's on a gurney. Do we know about Karen? We don't. We know it's Faye's mom's name, right? Or did I say that? Who is Karen?
Karen is Faye's mom, but I don't know if we know what she looks like.
Oh, I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
You're thinking that could be Karen.
Who the fuck else would this? Well, no, we know. Wasn't he playing ball with her in a flashback or something like that?
He was playing ball with a woman, and I think you're right. It was the same sprite.
Okay.
At least that's kind of the way it read to me.
That's not me looking up plot information. That's just who I assumed what that was.
Yeah, especially if the young boy does resemble Faye. I didn't go back and sort of pause this section, but to double check. But that was the image that was sort of burning into my brain at that point.
So after that, I think it flashes back, and Faye and Ellie are both laid the fuck out.
Yeah, they're. I guess they're just
doubled over,
tired from puking.
Yeah, retching, vomiting, because they've seen that they've put it together that the Soylent is people.
Yes, the Citan then explains something that he could have explained maybe
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes ago. This place that we were in, it is the Soylent system. This is a very obvious reference to the 1973 Charlton Heston classic Soylent Green, where the food is people.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is made out of people.
Yes, Charlton Heston plays a New York City detective in the dystopic future of 2022. Far away.
Far, far away.
And finds out that Soylent Industries' titular Soylent Green food product isn't plankton, it's recycled people.
Yes.
So, Chris, did you know about Soylent Green when you played Xenogears?
No.
Neither did I. That's why when we figured it out years later that it was a real thing, I remember, I don't know if I was with you at the moment, but I had a good freak out knowing, I didn't know how references worked then. I thought that this ancient movie somehow time traveled and borrowed from Xenogears, the creator of all original ideas.
Yes, perhaps. Have you watched the trailer for Soylent Green? It's like a 3.5 minute trailer. It's on YouTube. It's tremendous.
No, I haven't. I kind of want to see it.
It's great.
We should do a commentary for Soylent Green.
You maybe want to put some of those sound effects in that trailer in this episode.
I've cut the Charlton Heston line already, but perhaps I'll do that as well.
It's great.
Initializing fake net.
Full trailer audio will be available in the outtakes at the end.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
So yeah, the Soylent System, the organism experiment lab, and its disposal facility. Listeners, if you listened to our last episode, which why wouldn't have you? You learned that Chris was surprised to learn that Soylent was a real product dreamed up by the idiots of the United States, I assume.
Initializing fake net.
Created by Rob Reinhardt, Soylent is made from 35 chemical ingredients, all of which Rob deemed to be necessary for survival, based on his readings of school textbooks and U.S. government websites.
To be a meal replacement system.
Yeah.
I took the liberty myself to order a $7 bottle of this shit.
Patreon funds were not used.
No, this is my personal funds.
This is content funds.
This is content. And Chris and I are going to drink it live on the podcast.
Live on the podcast,
I'm going to drink it out of the bottle. Chris, you pour yourself a little bit of that.
All right. Oh, shit.
It was chilled about an hour ago.
Okay.
Chris has filled his cup with water, which he's now chugging. You know, if you just want to cut it with water, I'm sure it doesn't matter. Dude, he's getting all that water. Oh, boy, you're going to have to pee.
That's all right. Okay. So, yeah, while I'm pouring this.
Yeah. What do you think this is going to taste like? Do you think it's going to taste like protein shake?
I'm not looking at the ingredients. I think it's going to taste like people, Eric.
Oh, man, this could be a real bad idea. But yeah, there's 400 calories in this bottle, 20 grams of protein. My prediction is like chalky, like meal recovery, workout bro protein thing, minus any kind of vanilla or like fake chocolate flavoring.
This is for rich people, not for workout bros, right?
I think so. I think it's for either like rich or disillusioned people.
Or cops, right?
Or cops. Yeah, I know. There's multiple bottles of this stuff on Amazon, and once I got to the one of like a cop drinking one in the summer, I picked it as like the dumbest possible thing. Okay, Chris, describe the color of that stuff.
Honestly, you know what it looks like?
What?
And I have a lot of experience with this.
It
looks like breast milk.
Okay, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got it looks like chocolate milk with only a little bit of chocolate in it. Maybe.
No,
right.
I wouldn't say it has the full chocolate tint. It's closer. It's closer to like just a hue away from regular milk, but like breast milk.
People love it. You know, I'm sure I drank a bunch of it. Right. Yeah, give me that bottle. Did you smell it? Describe the smell.
It smells like Cheerios.
Ooh, bad.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, it smells like Cheerios.
Ooh, it does. It smells like the milk that gets left behind after you eat that shit.
What if we found out this was really just Cheerios dissolved in milk?
Oh God. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers
to the shit that charmed the devil.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Ugh.
It tastes like
a bagel.
Like it doesn't have the thickness that you would expect.
No, it doesn't. It's very it's not viscous at all.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't taste like a protein shake or anything of that nature.
No, it definitely tastes like cereal milk.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Soylent Green is cereal milk.
I'm gonna finish this thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip on it.
Yeah, I've got a cosmic sour beer. Let me chase it with that real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, gross! I hate my body.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Well,
I wish I remembered that we were gonna do this tonight before I ate a bunch of Indian food and cake.
Yeah, I also forgot and had my wife didn't finish her chicken sandwich, and I finished it for her, and here we are.
So yeah, Citan has 3 key points about the Soylent system.
Hold on, Indian food and cake?
Well,
what are you doing?
No, not at the same time. I had cake at like 2:30 at a birthday party. Right. Like the leftover shit.
You don't have to finish it. You can just pour one out for your dead homies.
I'm trying to stay in character here.
Okay, yeah, no, commit to the bit. You're right. We shouldn't. We gotta.
3 key points.
Yeah, 3 key points of eating people.
Yeah, food.
Uh-oh, we fucked up our voices. It strained the vocal cords. It is now part of this.
And I thought my voice was back. Damn. Okay. 3 key points. Food and medicine are made from people. Wells and reapers too.
Yes. Citan casually says that reapers are also made here. It's like an oh by the way type thing.
Yeah. Also, this is how the limiters are enforced, which I guess the food that the humans ingest is how they hold back their ability to tap into the ether.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, if the chemical substance neutralizes their ability to connect with nature and like holds off some kind of evolution.
We also learned about a second kind of limiter later, so maybe that is implemented here later.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you have any information about Dominia?
Yes. Citan asks Ellie if she remembers what Dominia said in Shavat, and my answer to Citan was no, I don't remember what Dominia said in Shavat. So Citan tells us,
Yeah, this was in Shavat when Dominia invaded and like was delivering key plot points, but then cut off before she got to the really juicy stuff.
Yeah. People of her native country served as the origins for the wells, the M plan. Erich used to be the superintendent of this plant, that is Ellie's father.
Right.
He was also involved with Maria's father, and he eventually resigned due to his pangs of guilt. I don't know if Citan actually said pangs of guilt, but I wrote that.
Yeah, that's the sentiment. The sentiment there is true.
Yeah. And that's why he's, according to Citan, and this is a leap a bit, but that's why Erich, Ellie's father, Erich, tried to save as many third-class citizens as he possibly could because he knew that they were going to this plant.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a cop-out, just a way to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, like somebody watched Schindler's List.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much the end of Citan's lore dump.
Well, he does say that Dominia is the last survivor of these experiments, and he doesn't. I don't know if he says it, but this is Elru, right?
Yeah. We'll find out later, or maybe we can come to that now. But Dominia is from Elru, and that's kind of where this started.
So is Dominia? She's not the last survivor of Elru, right? Because Talon and then the Tim's captain, Franz, like all that stuff. Are these all products of experiments, or were they all Elru natives? Like what is?
I think Elru natives were
mostly human as opposed to mostly animal?
No, I think that Elru residents were mostly where they sent the experimented people to live. And then eventually they migrated.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's how, like, I don't know if Hammer was actually born there and then he got thrown in jail in Kislev and in a front,
Because you assume once the country was detonated and rendered uninhabitable, they were dispersed across the globe, like a Katrina relocation type thing?
Yeah, that could be the case too.
So,
before they go in the door, Citan says something kind of weird.
Well, get up, Faye, get up and look it over.
No, he wonders if cannibalism is permissible.
So, yeah, Citan says, get up, Faye, get up and look it over, which is like rubbing a dog's nose in shit when you encourage it to take a shit on the bed. Yeah. It's like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Yeah, you're making eye contact, do it. I know you want to do it. And then he does it. But then Citan says the best line after that I think we should have ended our podcast with rather than, yes, we will kill God.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is reality. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, that is a moment where Citan is telling you to just look.
Suck it up.
No one cares.
Like, to educate us, maybe he wanted to make us feel the pain, right? But as Chris said, as we leave, like, Faye and Ellie go through the door, but Citan stays behind and says, to end a person's life and consume their flesh, is that permissible? And then, like, you remember how we mentioned a screaming noise later?
Yeah.
That noise happened, and then Citan nodded his head and walked through the door. It was perfect.
That was just based on the timing of your specific when you pressed X.
Yeah, I went back to try to capture that noise in a Let's Play, and then it didn't happen at that exact time. So that's when I knew that, like, the timing on mine was perfect.
This playthrough of yours is perfect.
Yeah, a perfect work.
A perfect work indeed. In through the doors, it's quiet, and there's like mechanical noises in the background, and we're in this warehouse area.
Yeah, there's machine cranking out more Soylent.
Indeed, and we go up an elevator. A long elevator, and it is another time to reflect on the plethora of great elevators in this game.
Yeah. What's interesting about this, and I don't know if we brought this up before, is like elevators in modern days, or more so 10 years ago, were used to mask loading points.
Yeah.
I don't think this was invented at that point. Like, the PlayStation only had 1 megabyte of RAM, right? So, like,
right. This game's got tube elevators, it's got diagonal elevators, it's got all the good stuff.
Maybe it just wanted to realistically enforce that there's a great distance and vertical height.
Yeah, that helps too. Also, I think riding an elevator, maybe not necessarily in this particular scene, but it helps to build a little bit of tension and change the pace, yeah.
And in most games, there's always the classic elevator gauntlet.
Yes,
and Xenosaga definitely has a bunch of those.
Then we go on to a spacey looking hallway.
Yeah.
And it's silent in there. And like at this moment, I'm like, okay, we're heading towards the culminating point of this scene because we're in this long tube hallway. It's silent.
Shit's going down when we get out here.
Yeah. But we're not.
Nope.
We're definitely not. We have a long way to go to get through Krelian's lab here. We don't even know that we're in Krelian's lab yet.
No, I don't think like we were like that was a food processing. This is just like an idling hallway.
Yes. Now Invasion is playing though, so we know it's time to do some sneaking.
Yes, and we are in like a main hallway type thing with a really cool spiral staircase, the most efficient of ascending mechanisms.
Yes, indeed. And it also it appears that we're in some sort of, I mean, I guess we can assume that it's a lab, but it also kind of harkens to like a more futuristic looking biome or spaceship kind of looking thing.
Yeah, it's like futuristic on top of futuristic.
Yes. There's LED displays in the corner. and lots
Some
of
LED displays. What?
LED.
Oh, LED.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of there's a lot more color here than
Like,
what we're used to.
Yeah, the
seeing.
electricity bill is not a concern for Solaris because their shit's just on all the time.
Well, yeah, they're powering it with people.
Of course. Yeah. No kidding.
People powered.
What happens when you get in your first battle here?
Is this where it starts to do the whooshing stuff?
Yeah,
instead
the
of breaking
battle,
stuff?
it doesn't break. The battle swirls and morphs in with a texture warping effect as opposed to the glass breaking.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because previously I think that was primarily reserved for boss battles, right?
I think so. I remember it happening before, but I couldn't cite the exact time.
I know it happened in the first, or the only Ramses on foot battle, and maybe a couple of other ones. But
the Ramses on foot, you mean at the palace?
Yeah, way back when. And
Rats.
A couple of other times too, yeah. But it is weird. It's changing here. I wonder if that's supposed to be significant.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like symbolic of someone losing control or like someone's mental state, or if like someone's reaching a breaking point, or like what's happening there, because it wasn't even tied to Faye the previous time. It was just Bart. Oh no, Faye jumped in eventually. I don't know.
Broken mirrors and shards and stuff are kind of a thematic thing throughout all of Takahashi's works.
Yeah.
Like, it happens actually a couple times in Xenoblade 2, where the screen breaks in like 1 or 2 battles. It'll happen when it's transitioning from a cutscene to the regular game engine. But in this case, it stopped doing it, and it's very interesting here. I don't know what to think about it.
I love it when video games change up their battle music. Like Final Fantasy VIII did that for the Laguna sequences.
Yeah.
Grandia did it, I think, once at a certain point in the story. It's just a really strange way to do things.
Now, the music is still the same, though, right?
As far as Invasion goes? Oh, no, as far as the battle music. Yeah. But like the sound effects that like, there's no pop noise. It's like
exactly.
You get a different sound effect when the battle launches. It still plays Stage of Death.
This was the first time that I ran into an orphan.
Technically it was, but we've seen it. Okay, so describe Orphan.
We've seen the sprite back in the Kislev
it was
sewers.
in Kislev, but it's like the giant gross organ meat thing.
Yes, exactly. But you're also, it seems like some of the Wells experiments have leaked in here, or they're either supposed to be here to guard the lab, or they have kind of snuck in here just through the Soylent system.
I kind of wondered about that. Like, why are there those things here just roving about the lab?
Yeah.
But then there's also guards there and drones there. So maybe it's just like a pest control issue where they're just like, this is your job today, is to go and hunt these fucking things.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's orphans, and then there's another curious enemy called Dorothy.
Yes.
Is here and casts confusion on everyone, and is a clear evolution from the Doras we fought back in Zaboim. Like, it's like a full-bodied opera Jinx-looking female, as opposed to just the head that we encountered last time. I think I ran into a couple of these in the processing plant as well. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're still, but they're unique to Solaris, and like that makes me wonder if they like stole something from Zaboim and then like experimented on it so they could further develop its growth here.
Or it's just the byproduct of experimenting on people.
Oh yeah, which also happened there.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be funny if they just repeated the exact same history and the exact same experiments.
At the top of that spiral staircase, there's a locked door.
Yeah, you can't go up there.
So we can't really do much there. So then we know that we've got to go do some light dungeon traversal to try to figure out how to open those doors. Within this area, there's a couple of PCs you can interact with. Like, you can go up and press the button and Faye looks at the screen and nothing happens. But hey, that's cool, right? Yeah,
there's a bunch of side rooms that looks like they just have a bunch of server racks.
The most important side room. Do you have a note on the most important side room?
Do you mean the one that has a survival tent, a save cube, and a conveyor belt full of assembly line fresh save cubes?
Yes, I called this the, I guess technically we should call it the memory cube manufacturing room.
Yes.
Which they obviously, Edward Snowden tried to warn us here.
Yeah.
Don't sign up for Facebook. Don't put your data in the iCloud.
Use a Tor server.
Yeah. Protect your stuff. Don't save on the memory cube.
No.
People of Earth, do not do it. Luca, Hammer, and the Gazel have mentioned these things throughout this game.
Even though they did that, this still blew my mind when I was a kid.
Yeah. It still blew my mind now.
Yeah, to just see a bunch of save points hanging out. It's like someone just drugged the art assets and fucked up.
Before, it felt like a joke, right? Like with Luca, it was obviously a joke.
It was framed as a silly thing.
Hammer trying to get us to save at that one point in time was weird, but it's Hammer. It's a joke.
Yeah.
And then once the Gazel Ministry started to mention it, then like, oh, this is some real shit.
Yeah, but half of what they say is nonsense.
Yes, that's true. But now we are given the environmental storytelling piece of this game. By the way, this reminds me of a story the other day. I sometimes will leave a sweatshirt in my living room so I can just immediately change my clothes when I get home from work.
Hell yeah.
And my wife put it away in the dirty clothes. And I said, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
And she's like, how am I supposed to know it's not dirty? And I said, environmental storytelling. supposed to figure that out.
The context of location.
All the other things I put in the dirty clothes, but not that one.
Yes, it smells like shit, but also I wanted to keep wearing it.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, then
I just want to say that I think that was actually a really one of the better instances of foreshadowing in this game.
Yeah,
to tease it at multiple points, multiple hours across, and then like not ever commit to the bit, and then it actually ends up happening. This was a really good sequence to me.
Yeah, we talked about how maybe not clumsy, but how excited this game was to introduce foreshadowing very early on upon, like when the story was first being introduced, with all these things that are kind of just now paying off. This is one of the more subtle bits, and it's great. I love it. So now, you all right?
Sorry, the Soylent is sticking.
Yeah. I'll switch back to bourbon.
We're going to have a great night.
Should I mix my bourbon with the Soylent? No.
Do you want to die?
No, I don't want to die. I like the taste of bourbon.
So my next place I have called the Dark Dripping Room.
I call it the stereo drippy area because I had headphones on and I was getting different drips and
drips in stereo.
Yeah, it was great.
Drips in Stereo is my cyberpunk Xenogears remix band.
Cool. We turn the lights on. Yeah, go turn the lights on.
It is like pitch black, and then you turn the light on, and it reveals a white gear, which looks similar to Miang's color scheme in her like Miang's gear.
Yeah,
but it has a tail.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy,
and it's sort of underwater with its arms crossed over its chest in the funeral pose.
It's like in a coffin. Yeah, that's what I wrote down too. At this moment too, when we turned the lights on and the thing was revealed. Again, I thought that we were barreling towards the climax of this section, but no, there's a lot more to go.
Did you know this was here?
No, I don't remember this at all.
I didn't either. Like this is the gear's called Opium, or if we'll meet it later, but like I didn't know that this was visible before like you ever actually met this thing. Ellie notes that the surface isn't segmented. What does that mean?
I think I know what that means.
Well, she suggests it might be an Omni gear, but what does a non-segmented surface mean?
So you know how most mechs design, it appears that there's always like areas for the joints to move.
Yeah,
that is like the armor is segmented.
Yeah,
it's
like it's like plates.
It's like plate armor
as opposed to just skin.
Yeah. Whereas in the case of the Omni gears, apparently they are more organic moving. Like they have more polygons.
Yeah,
but they were not able to really represent that in the game because they don't have enough polygons.
Yeah.
So if this had been in the Xenogears remake, that will never happen. This will be a much more the Omni gears will be much. The surfaces of those will be much smoother, and they will look more like,
just like Soylent Green. It'll be more like people.
Yeah, it'll be more like they'll be more humanoid looking versus looking like it's like what the Evangelions look like after the plates are off versus what with them on.
So Ellie thinks this will be 3 times as powerful as their gears.
Great guess, Ellie.
Yeah,
I guess she knows some
Great
things.
job.
Who knows?
You're from Solaris, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you call the next place?
Up the stairs, back into the lab area. I call this the people in cages, people in tubes area.
Okay, I called it animal jail.
Okay, that works too.
So there's those unique industrial noises we heard back with the Goliath.
Yeah.
And there's some folks milling about in cages.
Yes. There's a green guy.
Yes, there's a green guy.
He says that he's the guy who owned the dog in Kislev.
Yes.
Do you remember the guy who owned the dog in Kislev? Eric?
Yes. You didn't meet him, I don't think. I remember I went up and got him to meet the dog and like gave the dog some food.
Oh.
And then it made the dog not bark when I walked by, which I thought was going to be instrumental for my escape, but I don't think it mattered. But yeah, he was on the roof like right before the exit with the dog.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah. I think maybe I did meet him. I'm not sure.
But yeah, there is also some pink mouse guy in a cop uniform, which means they've caught Mappy.
Yeah.
I think the guy, the dog owner, he was like a normal sprite, but his skin was blue.
Right.
Like there was no other alteration. And then, like you said tube. Some of these fuckers are in industrial waste drums with windows.
Yeah.
Are they alive?
I think they're dead or in stasis.
Formaldehyde in there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So did you let these people out?
Well, Chris, one of them had some advice. He said, please don't think about letting me out. Even though I'm conscious, eventually I'll, and then he trailed off. What does that mean?
It means he's got a treasure chest in his cage.
Yes. They all have treasure chests in their cages.
Yes. The green guy, he's the one with the dog. He's an orphan once you let him out and he attacks you. And then when you beat him up and kill him, you can go get the muscle belt in there.
Chris does not mean his parents are dead. He means the organ meat creature we fight called Orphan.
Correct. The purple cat man, or pink cat man, as you said, Mappy, he is several mummies, which are neo-wells.
Several mummies.
Yes.
This one man is several mummies.
He is. And the goblin man is also the neo-wells as well.
I got all that stuff. I think the only worthwhile piece of gear I got was, I think, an angel robe.
That's in the next cage room.
Oh,
There's
okay.
many more people that want to eat us. The first one in that room becomes a Dorothy.
I do like how the wells are brought back here, like briefly linking to that whole Billy segment, suggesting that wasn't just a strange one-off.
Yeah, where the wells are actually used as creatures.
Yeah, like this is where they came from. Like, of course, we saw what the snake basket thing drop a bunch of those things off. Clearly, it just loaded up.
Yeah.
Like, it just like, Krelian, can we get, I don't know, 400, 500 of these things?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. They're all in cages. I don't give a shit.
Most of the rest of the people in the second cage room are all turned into Neo Wells as well.
Yeah, I got some of their dialogue. One of them says,
okay.
It's just BLBGLLLBGLB.
Blagabag blah.
And then another one says, I kind of feel like eating you up.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
I've already eaten people today, guy, so I'm on the same boat.
God, how much of yours do you got left?
I got a couple
That's about how much I got.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is worse than the kinky.
I wonder if there's a subreddit for this.
For idiots that like get into this stuff.
Yeah.
I told my friends about this, and I was told that to get the vanilla flavor, but I wanted to get, the real. I would get one of these every time for a goof if it wasn't $7.
I think it will wear out its welcome quickly.
Well, that's the point. We're supposed to hate it, Chris.
Yeah. Thank you. So now we go to the next area and we're back to Invasion.
Yeah, like I like how Invasion muted because it was like, hey, you want to see some messed up stuff?
Yeah.
Do you want to really think about what you're doing? Do you want to do murder? These people they're talking to you, man. Do you want to murder them? You can get that treasure chest. Ooh, you got hob jerky. Was that worth taking a life?
Yes. Interesting that you should mention hob jerky because this next area has a bunch of labs and surgical tables and viewing rooms, like operating tables and stuff like that.
It's like one side is clearly a surgery room separated by glass with an observation room loaded with computer stuff.
Question: I don't know how far you've read into the Perfect Works. I have not read this part yet, so I have not gotten to the monster section yet. But in this area, we're finding a lot of hob meat and stuff. Yeah. We're also finding a lot of monster parts, eyeballs and stuff like that.
Fangs.
Yeah. So
scales.
Are hobs the product of Krelian's research?
Is that like Danny DeVito in Twins, where it's just the crap?
What?
You ever see Twins?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
All the purity and strength went into Julius. All the crap that was left over went into what you see in the mirror every morning.
Whoa, you telling me I'm the crap?
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger gets all like the good genes and he looks like Schwarzenegger, and Danny DeVito is the dumping ground for all the bullshit and looks like Danny DeVito.
So the hobs are the Danny DeVitos.
Yeah, the hobs are the DeVitos.
Okay.
Definitely, like it's like one eyeball and a bunch of just meat that people just light on fire and eat at the thing, and then that's what hobs are.
Maybe, or it's either that or they didn't have a time to generate an item that was just like, man meat or something like that.
Oh yeah, just like they could make synthetic meat. They had to make something alive.
Yeah,
they could grow. So the unique thing we figured out down here, and this spreads to a lot of Krelian's lab, is there's always two of everything.
Yeah.
At least. You go by one surgery room and there's another surgery room, suggesting Krelian doesn't like it when shit breaks and prefers to have duplicates of everything.
Yeah, because for all intents and purposes, Krelian's the only one actually doing all this stuff here.
Yeah, I don't think he has assistants.
We've never seen him with an assistant at all. I mean, and also he probably wouldn't want to have assistants because...
Yeah, he doesn't want to know that. I mean, Ramses has a key to this place. We found that out later.
Yeah.
But no one's checking up on him.
Nope.
Or unless he it just ends up murdering. Like maybe he has like an academy program for a scholarship, and then he goes to send them off on secret missions like Mormons, and then he just murders them instead of actually sending them off.
Oh yeah, he just puts them into the Soylent system.
Yeah. They get Soylented.
All of Krelian's assistants become his food.
Yes. Oh man, what a great gig.
And he probably doesn't have to sleep either. He's got all the nanomachines, right? So he's always working.
Oh yeah, I doubt he sleeps.
Yeah.
So there's one more weird room. There's a conference room with a treasure chest in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
In any other game, this would have been a mimic.
Yeah, that's
treasure
true.
chest that just eats you and bites you and stuff. Anyway, in that room, you bang keys on a computer and you unlock another door.
Yes, that's where you turn off the security system that goes back to the hallway out front.
Yes.
And then you can go through kind of the back door and come out in that main hallway, go up the spiral staircase, access the door, get a couple treasure chests, and then go into a Metroid lab.
Yeah. How would you describe this place?
Well, I would describe this place with a bulleted list of the things that are in giant tubes.
Okay, Chris has some notes.
Okay. The first tube is a giant wolf.
Is it a tube or is it a display case?
Good question.
Are these trophies?
Ooh, interesting.
Like when you enter a business and they've got all their good shit in display cases on the first floor.
I read this as an actual lab.
Okay.
Where these things are being held in tubes for
some kind of stasis.
The purposes of preservation. Yes, correct. So Yes, a giant wolf, a giant brain with a spine. So basically a large
nervous system.
A large nervous system, yes. A gigantic torso.
Yeah, the torso's weird.
3 large hands.
Like, did he kill a giant and cut him up?
They could be like bird feet, but I'm not sure. I wrote question mark after hands. I'm not sure. Also, a giant mosquito and a huge tuna fish. That's how I describe this lab.
Yeah, it's a really weird juxtaposition where there's these clean preserved cases in like clearly a blood-soaked tint next to the organic carnage of all these experiments. Yeah. Like this is I think one of like the animal people walking around is obviously horrifying, but this is like true psychological horror where this stuff is being like there is intention to all of this.
That's right.
And all of this was put here for a reason, whether the reason was like experimental purpose or whether this is his masturbation room.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
So then it gets worse.
It does. We go into the next room and there are a bunch of circular stations where groups of lasers are like crafting monsters or experimenting on monsters or torturing monsters. I'm not really sure.
They're in like a halo apparatus where they're like bound to it. And it's like laser cutting them and rotating around it like one of those machines that puts together cars.
I guess this is the part where they're like trying to create inputs to the implant or something. Like they're trying to
like find the cell that's carrying the genes so they can neutralize it.
Exactly. They're trying to find exactly what they're looking for so that they can send the rest of it to waste. There's a fly man, a green ferret man, and a green rabbit man. Or person, I guess I should say. So, yeah, that's it. We're almost there, right?
There's one optional room.
Oh, there is. Oh, yeah. You take a left, and there's a large.
Take a left.
Yeah, take a left. I took a left too. There's a room with a large cage with more people.
Every Muppet available is in this thing.
Yes, this is absolutely the Muppet cage.
The red goblin asks to open the door and then tells me it's easy, and then offers to eat us after we push the button.
Yeah, I get. And then at that point, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to clear all these motherfuckers out.
There are 2 treasure chests in this cage. When there's some of these motherfuckers, that means whatever in those chests is really good.
Yeah.
So then, you like have to keep opening the thing. Some guys just wander out and wander around, and some run and rush you.
Yeah.
All of them have dialogue before they fight you. I have that dialogue.
Okay.
It includes, ouch, it hurts, it hurts. You look tasty. Kill me. Help, I can't control it. Don't kill me. We were turned into Wells as an experiment, huh? Pepperino, capital letters. Wells are pretty good. How about you? I'm human, used to be. And then one final one. In the sewers, you seem to have taken good care of my brother.
Yes.
And then Fuse plays.
Yeah. Fuse has never been the boss music before, right?
I don't think so.
This is not really a boss, but...
I mean, it is a boss. It has been a boss.
Yeah.
It is a pair. We're fighting 2 red rums at the same time.
Yes, they're called the Bloody Bros.
Yes, that's an excellent name. It was Red Rum, and what was the other one called? Like, it wasn't Murder, was it?
No, it was Red Rum and...
The one in the Reaper ship. Bloody?
Yep, Red Rum and Bloody.
Red Rum and Bloody.
No need for fake net.
Nope.
Your words cannot hurt me. I am immortal.
So, the first thing that they do is drink your blood.
Yeah, they grab you and drink you.
Yeah, that's their first action. And then after that, for me, they just did 1 damage the rest of the time.
They're weak ass. Like, I think the game psychs you out by making you think because, the drinking the people, that's an instant death. You gotta Zetasol yourself back after that. But it's kind of a nice fake where it's like, oh no, you fought all these guys.
Yeah.
Here's 2 really hard things. They just did like 1 damage. It's fine.
It's a good time to grind death blows if you want to.
Shit, I forgot about that.
Eventually, we kill them. And then inside the large cage, you can get a Ether Veiler and a Death Blower 3.
Death Blower 3 is good. We have a Death Blower 2 yet?
I think so.
Okay. Remember I got the thing from Queenie that was just a Death Blower 1.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those, please. I think maybe I know there was a Death Blower in the Sargasso Point Cave, but I don't remember which one. Next, we got to a glass tube hallway. I wrote here, are we there yet? It's all windy. It's ominous. And then we get to as you kind of traverse through that, you get to a buzzing, spinning future tube. It's like almost you're walking into a giant MRI machine or something.
Yeah.
And
you've been in an MRI before?
No, my kid
Sucks.
has, but yeah, I haven't.
Bad.
Yeah. So then I thought it was over, but here we are.
Well, the cylindrical tube thing, sorry, I forgot my note. It makes the Groff phasing noise like the gate
you're
generators.
Right, yeah. I wrote down that I was pretty sure that it was nuking my DNA or something.
Yeah, like kind of removing your ability to reproduce. And then, the room at the end of the hall has a top floor with Babel Tower colors.
Yeah.
Unique design sensibilities, like they had the same interior decorator.
There's a door that needs a password. It is not hard to find the password because once you go around a couple of corners, you find this weird area with an unlocked workstation because somebody didn't press Control-Delete before they went
somebody didn't log out
for a smoke, and you get an audio cue signal, which is apparently going to be the password. Also in that room, if you press some buttons on some panels, these large, weird rock relic things phase up out of the bottom. Did you?
No, I didn't do that. What's that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you the same question because there's 3 of them, and you press one, and some tubes come out. It looks like there's some rocks in there. They look like they might be artifacts of some sort.
Wow!
But whenever they come up, they make one of those audio cue sounds.
Oh, okay. One of the sounds you eventually use to pass the code.
And I thought it was some sort of puzzle. But it wasn't. It just was just there.
I was more enraptured by, like, it's almost like you're going into one of those. Do you know what the space jockey was originally in Alien 1? It was like this giant. Anyway, there's in Xenogears, these rooms, there's 3 chairs that have like these giant telescope things pointed at your head.
Oh, really?
Like you're in some kind of VR apparatus that you're about to sit in. There's multiple rooms of these where there's things that you like sit in, and then it's like it's gonna blast particles into your brain while you're in the chair.
They look kind of like cockpits, like you're like they were an unused
the space jockey.
Yeah, it looks like they were like an unused asset for like a battleship or something in this game, but actually they're VR machines or torture machines or something.
Whatever Krelian's up to, that's what kind of machine that is.
At some point during this traversal, I had a failure with Ellie's magic.
What do you mean? Like it missed?
One of our patrons mentioned this too, because one of our older episodes, we talked about how those like dwarf guys had a failure mechanic where they would sometimes they would throw a baseball in the air and hit it with their clubs at you, and occasionally it would just land on their head and do damage.
Conk them, yeah.
Yeah, occasionally Ellie will use her magic and all the animation plays out the same, but it does very, very low damage. And then at the bottom of the screen, there's dialogue and she says, "I'm sorry," or something of that nature.
Damn, Ellie.
Yeah, that's the only time it's happened. And I use Ellie's, since I'm using ether doublers, I use Ellie's magic kind of frequently. So
that's messed up. I also, speaking of the encounters here, the encounter rate to me seems nuts. Like I got tired of fighting these same 4 things over, and like you can't just mash through a lot of these battles. Even with the security cubes, if you don't have the level 7, not level 7, but like the advanced death blows, you can't beat their ether or physical defense.
Yeah, without waiting. And I did not have any of those at this time. I think I had the one with Faye, but it doesn't. I think it has it as a neutral property.
Phase 4 triangles and then X will kill those things in one hit, regardless of their defenses.
I wish I would have known that.
Yeah, that expedited it crazily for me.
I did a lot of running away from guys around here.
Oh yeah, running. That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
I forgot about
that.
I just like experience, and then I like the money, son.
Apparently, I did get Ellie's elemental death blows.
Oh wait, like
around this time,
the mole that comes out.
Yeah, because I wrote in a note here that says Ellie can summon cartoon moles, which is weird. I don't remember that at all.
Maybe you never used it in the previous time, right?
I guess so.
Or the time has eroded 20 years of your brain to where it didn't get committed to your memory.
It is possible because I thought something was going wrong with the game because a bunch of cartoon moles come out and there's a bunch of comic book miss effects and
it says hit or miss.
Yeah, and then the big one comes out and it always hits and then it kills it.
Like this is like some cat Sith stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
This speaking of hit and miss, I think this stuff just got in my brainstem. It's feels strange.
Do you need a glass of water?
No, I've got one.
Oh, okay, great.
Hurt me more.
Sure, Snake. Audio signal.
Yeah, audio signal. Do we do that next?
Yeah, we do the audio signal next. We deactivate the locked door. I'm terrible at at remembering audio cues, so I have to look it up.
You make the audio signals with a button input combination of like up, down, left, and right. It's like up, down, left, A, B, start, 30 lives.
Then you deactivate that locked door, and there's a bunch of more weird science labs and stuff with a bunch of spiral tubey platforms.
Some hologram rooms, 70s colors, VR chairs, blasting cosmic rays at our brains.
It's weird. I think we mostly find consumable items here. It's very confusing. The hallways get really weird here. There's a place, finally, we get to a place of some note, where there's a place with holograms of everybody except Hammer, I think.
Slightly before that, I found one more note for my VR chairs where when you sit in those, what's in front of you is 10 TV screens all in a row projected. I mean, you have to do all kinds of space drugs to watch 10 televisions at the exact same time.
God.
So I think it's like an information induction apparatus.
Oh, it's like the Venture Brothers beds.
Yeah, well, I was thinking more like the Clockwork Orange sequence where they open his eyes and he has to watch whatever. What are the Venture Brothers beds? I didn't watch that show.
Oh, the Venture Brothers are, spoilers, they die a lot. So the Father Venture has just a tank of clones in the basement, and he re-educates them in their beds whenever they go to bed.
The Prestige.
The Prestige.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, eventually we find a door that doesn't budge.
It goes to the
Are you ready to talk about this door that won't budge?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hologram room.
You look like you need a minute.
I'm fine. I'm doing just fine.
Are you sure?
Doing just fine.
Okay. Just checking on you. The door won't budge, and Citan knows the code, and he simply says this way. He plays it off. He tries to play it cool. He does that thing where you go somewhere and you act like you're supposed to be there, and no one says anything.
Before we got here, I actually got to the hologram room where it had holograms of everybody and unique facts. Do you have that before or after this?
We just said that. But, oh, wait, hold on. Are there unique facts about everybody?
Yeah, you didn't read those?
Oh. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, I briefly thought that like I've been blacking out on the Soylent.
No, I will re-say my Citan bit.
So additionally at the hologram room.
Yes.
You tap on everybody, like everybody is in a hologram on that little station. Then if you go up and press X to them, it says all of the Gazel's facts about these people.
Oh, I've totally missed this.
Oh boy, Chris.
This is supposed to be comprehensive.
Yeah.
Good thing I have you on my team.
Yeah, well I wrote down many of them.
Okay.
So first one I did was chute.
Yeah.
And it says that chute, amongst other things, I didn't get it all, but chute says it has no alignment, and then it says unusable.
Oh.
Dispose.
Okay. Kill choo-choo. It cannot sync with a anima relic.
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to stomp these things out for generations, right?
Yeah, and this is all relevant because we know that our characters have some sort of sensitivity to anima relics, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It says for Rico, who's next, it says he was created by the Ethos as an experimental mixture, sent to Kislev for measuring battle potential, scheduled for animus adjustment.
Interesting. I did not know that any of that was actually in the game, if that was only perfect work shit.
Yes.
Cool.
Billy just says scheduled for animus adjustment.
Okay.
Bart, it says he has retrieved, quote, Dan's anima and is scheduled for animus adjustment.
Dan's?
Dan. Not the Dan,
okay.
but the Dan relic Dan, like a different Dan. Not that Dan.
A different Dan.
Not pissant Dan.
Okay.
Not I'm wearing your dead sister's dress 30 days later Dan.
Okay.
Citan is next. It has no comments, but does list Risdio.
Rigdow?
I pronounced that properly in the Perfect Works thing as I made the French fake net say it, which I guess I'll do now.
Initializing fake net.
Rigdo.
S his real last name. Ellie, it says she has infinite ether response and anima alignment. Possible anti-type.
Oh, yeah. That's the second time I think we've heard anti-type.
Anti-type, yeah. I think the Gazel said it at some point.
Have we talked about the retranslation of that term?
Anti-contact?
I think it's
counter contact?
Counter existence?
Counter existence, yeah.
We'll talk about more of that later, yeah.
So Faye has the exact same information of Ellie, but at the very bottom it says contact. Immediate disposal desired.
Ah, so this is actually the first time that you learned that Faye is the contact.
Yes.
Interesting, cool.
Well, Faye is contact. The contact, I don't know. I mean, there's a slight difference there with what that means. So yeah, Chris skipped all of that and missed this great lore.
Oh, yeah, I'm bad at this game.
Yep, Chris is bad at Xenogears.
I lost. I got the game over screen. Eventually.
So can you imagine, like, all of our party just read all this shit, including Faye and Ellie? Did you think they're like, what, Citan? Do you know what? It didn't have anything for you, Citan.
This is for the player.
It said some real messed up stuff about us. We're just gonna, we got a mission, I guess. You're right. Rescue the friends.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep doing it.
For sure. So eventually we found this door. They won't budge. Citan knows the code. He types in the code. He says this way. He plays it cool.
Like Citan is kind of frustrated at this to me. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And like just walk. Because we just like spent 20 minutes killing like 20 guys, a bunch of orphans and shit, opening this music door. And Citan clearly has no time to do this again. Ellie
says something kind of awkwardly localized. She says, why is the deactivation code for the door known? Instead of saying, why do you know it?
Yeah.
But it gets, once they go through, it gets very quiet. There is actually absolutely no sound effects, no dripping, nothing. Faye asks what this place is for. Citan says, this place was not meant to be seen since the origin of time.
It centers around the Emperor and the Ministry's longevity experiments.
Yes. He tells us that 10,000 years ago, beings called humans.
That's right.
Were born here. The first being the Ministry and the Emperor. So he is letting us know that everybody, that this is the cradle of civilization, basically. Yes. And the Emperor and the Ministry were the first humans.
Only the Emperor is left, and his destiny is to never die.
Yeah, that's a cool destiny to have.
Yeah. He says the elders of the Ministry died in the Diabolos invasion and lost their bodies.
Yes.
They are now data and memory banks. They both exist and do not exist at the same time, just like me.
It's been a while since we heard about the Diabolos encounter. Diabolos.
I think we heard it from someone in Shabbat.
Yes, during that library lore dumping sequence, we heard a lot about it there, but this might be the first time that it's kind of popped up, in at least in a very long time.
Yeah.
The next line I have is very interesting from Citan. It says, after the fall, with a capital F, wanting to resurrect their bodies and create a worthy vessel, they transferred a research facility that was once the Soylent system on the land to Etrinak. Eventually, the facility was no longer only for the Emperor's life and the Minister's resurrection, but it began producing food and drugs with additives that controlled the public.
Yeah.
So eventually, I guess the Soylent system was just there to sustain the life of the Emperor and his buddies.
Yeah.
Now it eventually morphed into this. I mean, it eventually morphed into the Soylent Green plant.
It's the classic bored mad scientist pushing research too far. The Goldblum line, not because they could, never stop to think if they should.
Yeah.
Type thing. I also have a study guide note on that previous line.
Yeah.
About that Citan delivered about the Emperor not being able to die. It more accurately translated as, originally this was a facility used in part for the Gazel Ministry's longevity research. The Emperor, who reigns over them, is the one who has lived since primordial times and cannot be allowed to die. So it didn't necessarily mention the Gazel as being alive for the same amount of time as the Emperor.
Interesting. So maybe the Emperor was the first human?
Yes.
He is Cain after all.
The first human created, not necessarily to survive.
Exactly. Okay.
So all of this is being done to resurrect the bodies of the elderly. Chris, what does this remind you of? Anything in our modern society?
Soylent?
I was going to say rich vampires, Peter Thiel getting blood transfusions from the young to try and stay young forever.
Oh.
The massive ego of thinking you are so important that you need to be around and do whatever evil shit is possible to continue to stay alive forever. Fucking boomers.
Pharmaceutical industry?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Just like ensuring you're alive forever because your work on this planet is too important.
Yeah. The memory cube Faye and them were using was meant for obtaining living data. It's something that Citan also says.
Yes, the blood of the youth.
Yes. So finally, we learn about how they are spying on the lives of the everyday folk. And of course, they also mention, or Citan also mentions that the Ethos also sent various data to help out with this particular project.
Yeah, it's a collaboration of evil events.
Yes.
Here.
My conjecture here is that the Ethos portion is partially related to the battling arena data.
Yeah, totally.
Remember, they ran that.
Yeah.
They ran that shit. And getting that data probably had something to do with identifying, proper test subjects and whatnot. After all, Rico was one of them, right?
So Ellie gets a little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Girl goes buck wild, I believe. She says that even high-ranking officers can't get in here.
Yeah. She finally, somebody asks Citan, why do you know fucking everything?
Yeah. Do you have her list of grievances?
I've got a couple, but go ahead.
Citan can go into Solaris under martial law, sneak through the palace, get behind the P4 level door, and learn the purpose of this facility, which even her father and Jesse, with all their access, didn't know about.
Yeah. Faye's like, well, it could have just been dumb. It could have just been luck.
He says it could have been luck.
Yeah. Faye's
like trying to diffuse this shit because he knows when his girlfriend's getting heated. Like he's been through 3 or 4 of these himself.
We will find out later that Faye's literally 3 years old.
Yeah.
Just figuratively.
Kind of.
And it works out here.
But yeah, Ellie's got receipts.
Yeah. She's putting it all together. She says even Jesse didn't know about the M Project, which is not true.
Faye calms her down and then she says, I'm not done.
Jesse didn't know about the M Project, but Jesse did know about the M Project. Jesse's the one who first told us about the M Project when he was sort of telling us why he was being an asshole for most of his life.
Yeah, kind of.
But maybe he didn't know the secrets of the M Project.
Yeah, like the direct purpose of it.
Yeah. Finally, she just says, Citan, who are you?
Yeah.
And he does the great, really cool Citan thing. Maybe not really cool, but really evil Citan thing where he adjusts his glasses.
Yeah, I was going to either it takes his glasses off or adjusts them and kind of looks down.
Darkness surrounds Faye.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gone. The sound effect used here is the same sound effect used in everything when like a spotlight is being shut off.
Yeah, it's a great sound effect.
And Faye is alone.
Yeah.
Are we done?
We're done.
Okay, we're done with
Xenogears, it's over.
It's over. Faye lost.
Killed God.
Yes, we did. We killed God.
Yeah, we're gonna separate Krelian's lab into 2 parts because there's still a lot more stuff here.
A lot of stuff here. we thought that we were going to get, 2-3 episodes out of the end of, out of like the Solaris
there's
parts?
actually like 5 chapters. There's some hidden chapters that don't have save points in.
Lots of stuff going on
We'll
here.
see what happens.
So, thank you, Eric, and thank you, listener, for listening and speaking to us. Stay tuned for the outtakes. Follow us on Twitter at Retrograde Amnesia Pod.
I want to thank multiple listeners in case there's 2 listening at the same time together.
It's very possible that could happen, I guess. Send us an email, retrogradeamnesiapod@gmail.com. Thank you, Mark, for the intro track. We appreciate that. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to sleep and eat, people.
Soylent. Dude.
Should you still
I'm struggling. I'm feeling like I'm chewing this shit.
Should you still be drinking that?
Yeah, dude.
At some point, you know why I glazed over the hologram room?
Why?
Because you had a look on your face like you were not well. And I was like, is he okay? Does he need a break?
Well, I was having kind of an existential crisis where I realized I'm going to pay for these sins at the party tomorrow, the Super Bowl party.
Oh.
Where I'm going to like shit chalk in the middle of it because I'm also doing something dumb there tomorrow.
Oh, don't eat breakfast tomorrow.
I'm at work. I have to. Why wouldn't I eat breakfast? Oh, because of this shit?
Yeah.
Oh, so I wouldn't shit? No. I found a wine called Josh.
Fat.
I'm going to walk around and drink the entire bottle of wine called Josh.
You have to work. You're off. You have to work Monday too, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm committed to the bit.
Okay.
I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
Alternate title of this podcast was Committed to the Bit.
Yeah.
The bit being doing a whole podcast about Xenogears.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how we joked about how, like, is this the longest podcast about a single video game? But then I realized that, like, WoW podcast exists.
WoW yeah.
I mean, this is not the same thing as WoW, but
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's Fortnite podcasts. I'm sure there's Minecraft podcast.
A single game. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay.
Hey,
good to see you.
Hey, I hear you can't stomach Xenosaga Xenoblade 2 anymore.
I can stomach it. It's very frustrating for me to turn the game on, and I started thinking about how I want to proceed in the game, and like, all right, I'm going to go to the next thing.
How or if?
I'm going to go to the next, huh?
How or if you want to proceed?
I definitely do want to proceed in the story, but then I start playing it, and I'm like, well, there's this thing I need to have, like Wind Mastery 6 and Strength 4.
Shit sucks.
It sucks real bad, and there's one section, I think somewhere in like Tantal? The guy where the Dork Prince lives. The eye patch Dork Prince, or does he have an eye patch? Zeke, right. Yeah. The place where he lives, there's one where you get one, I'm like, all right, I've got this stuff. And I flew to the next area, and then I opened the door with another set, and there was a third set, and I was like one short, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go to a random place in the world to go kill 3 monsters. So
yeah, dude.
It sucks.
Yeah, dude.
It's bad.
Yeah, dude.
It's bad game design.
Like, it wants you just to keep doing the gacha thing and unlock more of those guys, so, like, ideally you have a stable of them available, but it's not a successful enough draw, really.
I do have plenty of guys, too. It's a matter of just caring enough to even want to go into the menus and switch them around.
Yeah, the menus are so, like, individually leveling them all up. And are you messing with that fucking, what's the Tiger game the arcade games you play to level up Poppy? I didn't do any of that stuff.
I like that character. I like the
android.
I use chute a lot.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind using weird guys like that. But I don't want to go play that fucking game. You know what's real messed up about the the quick travel system? Like, I'm in a prison or something right now, and I'm like, I want to go do something or finish a side quest, and I can just beam out of there.
Yeah.
And then it won't let me. Maybe it will.
To fast travel somewhere?
I think you can fast travel at almost any point, even when it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Which it bothers me a little bit.
Hey, I mean, Sybson's going inside the Shavat catacombs, so.
It's also not 1998. By the way, my friend told me he ran into Eric's wife, Erin.
Does this have to be chilled? You know what? Doesn't matter. We're not going to look.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's funny. I have Black Moon Forest again. Clearly, we're not good at separating which song is what there.
Oh. Okay.
They sound very similar.
Yeah.
I probably should have looked that up better. The first time we go through a conveyor belt,
And now the Retrograde Amnesia Theatre presents the audio from the 1973 movie trailer for Soylent Green.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? New York City, in the year 2022. Nothing runs anymore. Nothing works. But the people are the same. And the people will do anything to get what they need.
This is the police.
What they need most is Soylent Green.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? Detective Sergeant Thorne. He has a 2-year backlog of unsolved murders. Now he's on a case that must be solved. Saul Roth, Thorne's private library.
Hey, Saul.
A living book in a world without books.
Have some pencils, courtesy of your next assignment. William R. Simonson.
Simonson. He was the first to learn the secret of Soylent Green.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Saul Roth was the next to know.
How do we come to this?
And he chose to die rather than reveal the secret of Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Why did you set up Simonson?
I didn't.
Cheryl.
See your hands.
Officially, she's furniture. She comes with the apartment. She belongs to the tenant.
How many times you been in trouble with the police, Cheryl?
Never.
Can't hear you.
Never.
Captain Hatcher. First, he wanted this case solved.
Simonson. What do you say?
It was an assassination.
Now, he just wants it closed.
Who bought you? High and hot, and they want this case closed permanently. Their way. Now, you sign this.
You sign it!
Thorne refuses to close the Simonson case.
Just do what you have to do. Where did you go with Simonson?
He took me to church.
Church?
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 months since my last confession.
Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Chuck Connors, Lee Taylor Young, Brock Peters, Paula Kelly, and Joseph Cotton fight for survival and try to solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind. The search for the secret of Soylent Green. You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We've got to stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Please!
Shit's in my throat.
Happens.